if I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. And if I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home, when I'm home. I was just so far from here, focused on my own way, with never looking back to those who lived in fear. There was nothing I could do, there was nothing you said that could make me realize how much lucky I was. Just out of reach of the fire, was not aware of the nightmare. But when I stopped to see through sight, begging for help, begging for hope, just need to open my eyes now to try to change and to search.
Welcome to the Locker Room Breakdown Hour, which is me tonight till OMD gets here. Raw Perspective. We will be covering the review and the previews and everything in between. That's right, people. Now, I know these people know, because you're not stupid people. You're pretty smart people. You know that Raw airs earlier in the day because they are in Europe. They're actually in Glasgow, Scotland. I would like to say my unofficial hometown. Yes, I will be having a Scottish sleeve eventually and an Irish one because I'm part Irish as well. But that being said, we are in Glasgow, Scotland tonight. But last Monday, we were in Bologna, Italy, where my girlfriend's family is from, ironically. Okay. So we are waiting for OMD. But I'm going to go ahead and discuss some of the happenings from last week. We did have undisputed WWE champion one Cody Rhodes and John Bad Guy Cena under the same roof last week, and they did have a face-to-face. I think that was that Monday or Friday? I can't remember what day that was. I think that was Friday they had the face-to-face, but they were under the same roof on Monday. But all that being said, yeah, I think they did have, because it was the beginning of the show. Cody had come out. Okay. Anyway, that went nowhere, really. It was just a very honest-to-God face-to-face, I dislike you, blah, 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 back and forth. Just very, yeah, it was Bologna, was in, Raw was in, okay. So, I might be a little messed up. Uh-oh. Wouldn't be the first time. Thank you, Mr. Best. Again. But we did have the first match was Penta defeating Ludwig Kaiser in a no-holds-barred match. No-holds-barred match. I can get behind that kind of match, to be honest with you. For the simple fact that this is kind of Penta's wheelhouse. Being a luchador, it's kind of the object is no-holds-barred to a degree. Generally, they don't pull out weapons. They might pull out the occasional chair, but nothing major. But Penta did win this match. This match definitely set the tone for Raw last week. It definitely put the bar up here as far as the way the Raw was going to come across to us. It was very cool. Sorry, I'm almost getting dry. And again, I like seeing Penta being able to do what Penta does best, which is the high flying, and then as well as picking an arm or a leg and focusing on that and just taking that part of your abilities out of the game, so to speak. Ludwig Kaiser did a very good job. Even though he took the loss, it doesn't make him look bad because of how he was in the match. I'm probably going to go through this review really quick. I don't want to, but normally I have more people to give like some kind of feedback. I got nothing. This is really, really hard to do on your own when you think about it. Okay. Best, if you're still here, real quick, give me some feedback on the Penta Ludwig Kaiser match. How did you feel that this match went? Oh, hold on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Let me introduce to you the other half of this dynamic duo. We have OMD in the house now. How's it going, OMD?
If it could go wrong tonight for this show, it has.
It has? Yeah, no, I know. I got you, brother. That's why I'm here.
My second, like first of all, I was in the room ready to go.
Yep.
My computer froze.
Oh, is that why you went, and then you were
completely froze?
Oh, damn. That sucks.
Rebooted that. My second studio light
Decides
went
to
out.
crap out. Oh,
So it's on the complete fritz. I went yesterday to Walmart to try and get everything done and organized.
Yeah.
No, you bought these last year. You have to call.
I got a studio light you can have, dude. I don't even use it. No big deal. Well, so I had already discussed Cody and John Cena being under the same roof.
Okay, from last week. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, that segment went on too long. Yeah. I'm just trying to actually find this chat now because I wound up upgrading my phone today for free. So,
oh, right on. So, that being said, my phone decided to do an update that I don't think it was supposed to do. It was a virus, and every 2 seconds, I was getting pop-up ads, and I couldn't do nothing. And then my phone just went, formatted itself, everything gone. It was brutal. Okay, so we were discussing the Ludwig Kaiser and Penta match, and Mr. Best says, love the match, but I can guarantee that this feud is not finished. I feel like there might be something regarding the IC title. Yes, so we do know that Penta has already declared he's going after that IC title. So what I think might happen, Mr. Best and OND, I think WrestleMania, Penta wins the IC title, and in steps Ludwig Kaiser to say, hey, I am next. And then they have a feud. Whether Kaiser wins the title or not, it's going to be a dynamic couple matches at least between these two guys.
Right.
What are your feelings?
So we will discuss the IC championship match later on tonight.
Yep.
Really, I'm with Best. I don't think this feud is done, but I do not see Penta winning.
Okay, you don't see Penta winning?
At Mania, maybe, but not ready. And I mean, I'm literally going off of speculation that right now we are looking at a multi-man match for Mania.
Yeah, see, I didn't know this, Best, because, and I'll tell you why, I haven't looked at what's coming up tonight. I haven't looked at it at all yet. So thank you for letting me know that there is a match tonight. So we'll hold off on our opinions on that in a minute. The next match we got to see was Dakota Kai defeating Ivy Nile. Now, was this for number one contendership, or this just was a match?
This was just a match, but I think with where those two are in correlation to the women's IC championship, this has to affect that standing. And really, Ivy really showed why she deserves to be in the talk for it.
Right.
For Dakota, again, this was that scrappy underdog mentality, so to speak, and her getting one up again. And maybe that's because she is still aligned with Kairi Sane and Io Sky as part of Damage Control, if it's even a thing anymore.
Yeah, I really haven't seen all of them. But here's the thing, though. Damage Control is so broken right now with 2 of their members out on the injured list and not knowing when exactly they're going to come back. Is it really a group anymore? Like,
right?
Should they really just kind of go their separate ways, do their own thing? And then if, say, one or both of those members come back, we reunite these ladies, or just leave them where they are and let them do their own thing. I personally, not control at this point. If 2 of them want to stay together just to be tag team, rename them, rebrand them, do something, get rid of them.
Okay, well, we've almost lost your audio there.
Oh, did you? Oh.
Now, I think that, I think it's a broken faction, but I think if you want to keep 2 of them together, whether it's Kairi Sane when she comes back, whether it's Asuka and Kairi, I think you can keep the Damage Control name. I don't want the Kabuki Warriors.
Oh, God, no.
Back. I don't want that name back. I'm done with it. That, to me, is as bad as Pure Fusion Collective.
I feel you on that one, dude. I do. It was pointless.
But I also do think that we are going to see a new Dakota Kai soon. I think because we have been seeing her over the last month and a half, going back to that King Coda on her tights.
Been rocking that for a couple of weeks now.
Right? Well, a couple months.
Okay.
So I think we might get that version of Dakota Kai. And I mean, we know that, her former tag team partner in Tegan Knox was released last year or earlier this year.
Yeah.
Her other former partner in Raquel Rodriguez is busy she's got her own thing.
Yeah.
So it might be nice to see Dakota break away, branch out onto her own, do her own thing. Maybe let her go to SmackDown and challenge a Chelsea Green. Let her go and challenge a Tiffany Stratton, because I would love to see that match.
I would love to see her go for the U.S. title, have a decent run with that, and then relinquish that title for a shot at whoever's holding the women's title at that point.
Right.
I would love to see that for Dakota.
I would even be, for Dakota, I would even move her back over to NXT.
Oh, shoot. She could do some damage there.
You let her have a run. You let Dakota Kai have a go with a Jordan Grace, with a Steph Vacour, with a Julia. You let Dakota Kai go to Impact. Dakota Kai and Masha Slamovich.
Oh, could you imagine? Yeah. Even her and Rosemary. There's a ton of women in NXT that are definitely benefiting from this ability to go back and forth, which is beyond awesome for me.
Yeah.
Now moving on to what we had was main event: Jey Uso defeating Austin Theory in what I consider basically a squash match.
Well, this was a squash match, and even though Theory has been supporting Jey Uso against his tag team partner, this was just a squash. But then, of course, we saw the attack from Gunther.
The shenanigan, which we seen coming,
but
in a degree, but we didn't know when or how.
This is one question here that I am going to ask.
Okay.
Triple H, what in the hell are you doing with Austin Theory? This is a guy that has all of the tools. This is a guy that should be a main event player. And he's been sandbagged.
But here's my rebuttal to your question. Is he being sandbagged because of who brought him in and basically took him under his wing, the one and only Vince McMahon there for a while? Does that hinder this young man's ability to progress as fast as he should be?
I don't think so, because after everything went down with that, he still went on to have an unsuccessful Money in the Bank cash-in, but he did have another U.S. title run, competed against some of the best, won the tag team ladder match last year at WrestleMania and got the SmackDown tag team titles with Grayson Waller.
Okay.
So I think it's time that they need to do something with A-Town Down Under, whether they are an established, credible tag team, whether you want them as two singles wrestlers.
True.
Who can come together when needed.
Yeah, have that ability to be singles players, but at the same time be team players. I could get behind that. But Austin Theory by himself, I figure, in my head, this is why he's being sandbagged as a singles competitor, is because when he was with Vince. And as soon as Vince left, he went to tag team, and that's where he had his success, because it wasn't just him.
But they haven't had that much success. They've basically become an enhancement team.
They're a joke. These two guys are talented.
And you know what? I'm going to say this, because I've said this for a long time. There is one guy that I think could really help put them over the top if you make a 3-man faction. And this, you're going to hate me on this one, Bubba.
Okay.
A-Town Down Under with Logan Paul.
But you know what? That would work because they're all arrogant assholes that think they're way better than everybody. I would definitely put them together. Dude, that's not even a second thought. Because they could all work together very well as a trio. They could, 100%.
Now,
like I said, they work together.
Now, we do know that there is a draft coming up post-WrestleMania, so do we see them potentially get split again and one stay on Raw, one return to SmackDown?
Oh, I hate to say it, I hope not. Because as a tag team, they are so different, but so very good together. Because Austin Theory is kind of that social media guy that back in the day was always taking selfies, and he's all about himself, and he's all arrogant. But with the tag team partner he has, he kind of keeps him level, where he's not just completely arrogant all the time, but he has the ability to be that arrogant guy.
See, we got away from the Austin Theory selfie guy, and don't get me wrong, because I love that. But you get Grayson Waller, the social media celebrity, who's running his Instagram, his X, all of that during his stuff.
Yeah.
So,
which is very Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Logan Paul's very into the social medias and all that all that stuff. So why not have these three guys that are very socially mediated out there doing their? Why not put the three of them together?
Because can you imagine the three of them? Because we know that Logan Paul doesn't have a singles title. Using the Freebird rule on the tag team gold.
Exactly my thought. That's exactly where I went when you said it. Why not? One guy's getting beat. And he switches spots with the guy because he's hurt.
No.
Or he's just not able to keep up because that team's just that extra bit better. Okay, well, hey, Logan Paul's going to jump in for me. I got to go to the locker room or whatever, you know?
Right.
There's so many possibilities with that. I'm not against it. Even though I'm not a Logan Paul guy, he fits in with those two guys perfectly. He really does. Our next match, whoops, I just did something wrong here, was the LWO, Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, defeating the Creed brothers in a tag team match.
Yes. This was a tornado tag, I do believe.
Yeah, it was a tornado tag, yeah. It definitely was. Your thoughts on the match?
This match came out better than I expected because I'm just sick of this.
Yeah.
But I think that this was one that, yes, the Creeds had an excellent showing, but I think they should have had the win over the LWO. But at the same time, you don't want to see the LWO becoming the senior enhancements, especially with guys like Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wilde.
Right? Like, you got to have that proper balance, but having them facing the same 3 tag teams literally have been fighting each other. LWO, the Creed Brothers, and the Not So New Day.
Right.
Like, can we get... Oh, and don't forget the War Raiders or whatever.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to put it this way. Can we either get an 8-man tag of the LWO versus the Creed Brothers and the New Day and just end it all?
Just have a last man standing match. Just beat the snot out of each other. Get it done with. Winner gets a title shot at the tag titles. Doesn't matter what team wins. You pick 2 guys out of those 8 men, and that's who takes on the champions, and then that's it.
Yeah.
I hate saying this because Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee are 2 of my favorite luchadors aside from Penta. Like, there's a bunch of them, but they're
right.
The LWO. It's nostalgia. It's Eddie Guerrero. But at this point, it's like, I feel like you're just dragging that good name through the mud at this point.
Right.
By being enhancement talent. Like, it just shoot them off into the sunset and be done with it, and just start kicking ass and taking names and get those titles and do a sweet LWO run with them or something. Just, I hate seeing them being put through that, especially Dragon Lee, who's an up-and-comer, really.
Right? Like, Ray, I can understand because now that's his time to be putting these guys over.
He's given back to the game at this point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I could see him taking a few losses and then have a win here and there, and then, like, putting these new talent over. But when you're putting over guys like the New Day, what's the point? They're old too.
Yeah.
Like,
but you know what? And it's funny, I'm going to touch on this because now we are starting to really see the old guard of the WWE. The New Day, the John Cenas have all turned heel now to try and give these younger guys this push. You know what? Cena is another one that I think Theory and Waller would benefit from.
Now, that's like putting them with him?
Yeah.
I mean, that would save John Cena from having to be in the ring fighting a lot, where you can just stand outside and be the heel, get involved, but not involved.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the way you want to do it, but don't count that towards his dates of wrestling, just have him a little extra, being the heel.
Right.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Put him with them. Wow. Our next match. Well, segment, sorry. Seth Rollins addresses, I don't know how you feel about it, but he's my tribal chief, Roman Reigns. How did you feel about this segment?
I really don't remember it. It got good. I mean, between what happened on SmackDown and the rest of the show, I really don't remember this. This has gone to
at the oblivion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what happened, if I remember correctly, is Roman basically attacked Seth Rollins. Or was that on...
No, that was during this. That was to end the steel cage match at Madison Square Garden a couple of weeks ago. Roman came out on SmackDown. Roman wasn't on Raw last week.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember if Punk showed up for that.
Yeah. Yeah, Punk was on SmackDown.
No, but I don't remember if Punk showed up for the Rollins segment last Monday.
I don't think he did, to be honest. Anyway, it was a no-brain. Yeah. If we can't remember it, obviously didn't do much for us. So moving on to the next one, we had Braun Breaker defeating Finn Balor to retain the Intercontinental Championship. I want your feelings on this one.
Again, a fantastic match, but would we expect any less from Finn Balor and Braun Breaker? And probably the longest match I've ever seen Braun Breaker wrestle in.
Yeah, Finn really made him work to retain that title, actually, from what I got out of the match. I wanted Finn to win it because Finn hasn't had a major title. Now, I know he's had tag gold, but that's not the same to me. Since he won the inaugural Universal title and promptly had to hand it back because he got hurt. And he hasn't held a major title since then.
I believe he has been both an Intercontinental and U.S. champion.
Stepping stones, though. How long did he hold the Intercontinental title? Because I don't remember it.
Right. And like I said, I'm not sure. I know there was a U.S. championship in there that I believe he actually beat Damian Priest for.
Huh. Interesting. I'm sure if we're wrong, Mr. Best, who's probably sitting in the background going, guys, you're wrong.
But then, of course, we got the shenanigans afterwards with Dom and Carlito coming out. But then Penta came out to make the save and give Braun his belt back with the stare down.
With the I'm coming for this. Yeah. Which was done very respectfully.
Yeah.
In my books. True lucha style. He picked it up, looked at it, and went, yeah, I can't hang on to this any longer. It's yours, but I'm coming for it.
Yeah.
Keep it nice and clean for me because I'm coming for it. Which he did that in Lucha Underground as well.
Okay. There Finn he is. There's Mr. Best saying Finn beat Lashley for the IC title and held it for several months.
Okay. But again, I don't remember that. I really don't. So it wasn't a significant run. It was, we're just going to give it to you to, keep you quiet for a little bit in my eyes. And then now you're going to go into tag team stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, whatever. It was a good match. Both men put on a show.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't just one-sided, a Braun Breaker running the ropes back and forth, and then the spear or a clothesline or whatever. It was Braun Breaker had to work to win this title, to keep it.
Mm-hmm.
And Finn Balor made him look good, and he made Finn Balor look good. So I was impressed with this match.
Mr. Best saying they had a huge feud over it.
Okay, dude. Again, I must have missed it because it is what it is, though.
Yeah. No, I do remember Finn having held the U.S. or the IC belt, and I believe he also held the U.S. title, which I believe he had beat Damian Priest for. That may have been even before that Intercontinental run.
Probably was. Who knows? I'm glad that we have the information right there. He did hold the IC title. I'm sorry I missed it. Again, when I say major title, I'm like heavyweight title, WWE title, that kind of thing. I want him to have one of those runs again.
Right.
Because he hasn't had one. So, yeah. Right. You want to cover what's going on tonight with us?
Yeah.
Can we just take 1 second before we do that? I would love to show the good people what goes on here on the Turnbuckle Studios affiliation program. Enjoy this video, people.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle affiliation program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m., followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursday we got total non-stop action with Brace for Impact at 8 p.m. Friday we game again with Unleashed, the Jessica Wilde story at 7 p.m. Following the game, join us for the SmackDown security detail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. followed by the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
There we go, everybody. That's everything on the Turnbuckle Studios affiliation program. Check it out. Here is the quick link, affiliationprogram.my.canva.site. Check it out, people. You can do a lot of cool things there and find out how you can get started if you want, or work with one of us. All right. Promo's over. Let's go.
On to tonight. Speaking of promos, this is a segment that I'm questioning why it's on Raw. Cody Rhodes and John Cena under the same roof.
Now, are they going to be... Because what I heard was John Cena has a rebuttal for what Cody Rhodes said to him on SmackDown on Friday.
Cody wasn't on SmackDown on Friday.
I thought he was.
No.
I don't know. My days are all mixed up now, dude.
But again, the WWE Championship, the undisputed, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
is the SmackDown Championship. So why are you promoting both championship matches on Raw?
Well, here's my question. Why is Cody on Raw when he's a SmackDown guy?
Exactly.
I thought we were done with this jumping back and forth stuff. No,
Right.
We're not, because it's the road to WrestleMania. You want to have your champions out there being seen. So to call this trade deadline thing done, okay, yeah, no more trading. We're done with that. But don't say the trade and people jumping back and forth is done. Don't say both.
Right.
Say, listen, you can't be traded. But hey, if the Raw general manager wants you to appear on his show, sure, go ahead. But you're not having a match. You can appear, you can take your title and make it look good, but you are not to wrestle unless we're getting something from Raw to cover you while you're there.
Right.
Right?
But, I mean, you're not even promoting Cody Rhodes versus John Cena
No.
on SmackDown.
No, it's all been on Raw. Because why? Because John Cena's a Raw guy. That's why.
No, John Cena is a free agent and can go to whichever brand he wants.
Yeah, but you're going to have your big name on your big show.
Post WrestleMania, John Cena is slated for SmackDown.
Isn't that silly?
So this is where I'm like, what are you doing? Now you're promoting both, like I said, both of your world championship matches are being promoted on Raw.
Yeah.
Where's your SmackDown?
So I think this is why we are getting what I think he's right. Hulkster coming in saying, I think mainly because we are in a different country, most likely. I think it is because they're overseas. They're just using whoever's there and just putting them on both shows at this point.
These are all hands on deck shows. I mean, and I'm going to ask this because are we now looking, from what we saw on SmackDown, are we now looking at CM Punk versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins as your SmackDown main event? Now, I did allude to this, and I've asked this question the other day, because we have the draft coming up post WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And in this, when we had the transfer window, there were a lot of reports of American Made moving to SmackDown. There was also a report of Gunther and Cody switching brands.
Okay. Now, then here's, again, I got another rebuttal for your question. If you're going to switch Gunther and Cody, do the titles go with them, or is that why they're going to lose them at WrestleMania? So you could switch those two and then have them win said titles for
I would say the titles go with them. However, I do not think that Gunther is bringing the belt with him if he goes to SmackDown.
No, I think Jay's winning that title and staying on Raw, to be honest. I'm not. And they're pushing so hard for John Cena to get this 17th title. I see him winning that title, and then I think they're just going to switch those two guys and then have them go after those titles once they get to their shows.
Okay.
I don't have a clue because
then we get a CM Punk appearance. Now,
yeah, why? What's he got to say that he hasn't said before?
Right? This I've actually seen a clip of.
Okay, so yeah, don't ruin that.
No, I won't. I've seen a clip of it. I didn't see the whole thing. I've seen a clip.
Yeah. No, I get it.
But, I mean, all this is going to be is, again, the call out for this triple threat match. And,
yeah.
Does it get interrupted? I have a very funny feeling it will.
Oh, hell yeah. Seth Rollins is not going to let Punk talk on a mic without interrupting him right now. It's not going to happen. If it does, CM Punk is to come out, shoot a promo, and walk backstage. I don't know. I'll buy a drink for you if you come Thursday night. I don't know. It's again, people. It's WrestleMania. We want to build these matches as much as we can. So why would you let your opponent or the guy you want to wrestle go out and talk smack on a mic and not interrupt him and tell him he's a fool, basically?
Right?
Just saying.
Right. Then we have the first of 2 title matches tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Lyra Valkyria defending the Women's Intercontinental Championship against Raquel Rodriguez.
I'm going to tell you right now, Lyra's retaining this title via disqualification. I see shenanigans happening on Raquel Rodriguez's part, like a Liv Morgan coming out trying to help her or a Dominic.
Right.
Something goes awry, and our woman keeps her title.
Right. No, I'm with you there. I do see Lyra retaining. This is going to be a fantastic match.
Yeah.
I do see Liv getting involved. You're right, because that is her tag team championship partner.
Yeah.
But then who is in line for the women's tag team titles?
That is a good question. That is a very good question.
Because
who would you put in that spot? Best, Bulkster, anybody listening, please, who would you like to see take on Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan for these tag team titles at WrestleMania, right? Because that's where we want to go with it. I would love, personally, I want to see, and I know that these 2 women are going to retain it at WrestleMania because you're not going to give them this shorter run, but I would love to see an NXT tag team come up.
Right.
And give them a hell of a battle for those titles.
Right. But really, right now, the only legitimate tag team in the female division for NXT are Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. Okay. They've had a good run at tag team title shots, and now they are using the crossover to challenge potentially for the TNA Knockouts Championships.
Which we'll find out this Thursday, but we won't be here. Or at least I won't be.
Right. Because you've got Alexa Bliss as a SmackDown superstar. The Wyatts are on SmackDown. We are tentatively hearing rumors about Nikki Cross and Alexa challenging.
I forgot about that. I would love to see that.
Do I want to see that happen on Raw tonight? No. I want that, if it's going to be a SmackDown thing, I want it to be a SmackDown thing. Since, I mean, we know that Bayley's beaten Lyra.
Yes.
Do we head towards a multi-woman Intercontinental Championship match for WrestleMania?
Holy. Well, you're gonna have the men do one. I would have the women do one as well. So yeah, I could get behind it. But here's the question: who do you put in that match?
Well, you're gonna look at Bayley, Lyra, Dakota, Ivy.
Okay.
And depending on the women's tag team title situation, you do that. Do we have any other solid female singles competitors to really up the ante and climb a ladder for the Intercontinental Championship?
Shit. You know who I would throw in there? Natalya. And Dakota Kai.
Or even Dakota Kai.
Why not a returning ex-women's champion?
Becky Lynch.
Or just her name just slipped out of my mind. From Japan. Asuka. What if Asuka shows up?
It's potential. I mean, because we don't know where Asuka is with her injury.
No, she's been very low key, very quiet about any updates on what's going on with her.
Yes,
and that's very much what they would do in New Japan. They won't tell you updates, what's going on, because they want, when they come back, they want that extra huge pop, right?
Right.
So
there's Mr. Best saying Asuka is out until SummerSlam, which is what I have been hearing.
Which could 100% be true. But at the same time, with Triple H at the helm, how do we know he's not playing us?
Yep. But it could also be a returning Kairi Sane.
Dude, there's a list of women that could come back. Becky Lynch would be my favorite to come back and win the Intercontinental Championship.
Okay.
Because, and I'm going to state it here, the run she's had with the women's title, both of them, she's won both, and the NXT title, like these titles that she has held, she has elevated them.
Right.
So why would you not want a woman like that?
Well,
Not saying that the girl that has it now isn't elevating it and putting a prestige to the title, but she would make it just that much,
It's taken its time for the WWE to put their focus onto the women's Intercontinental, because, I mean, I will say it, and I do agree, I saw it earlier as well. Chelsea's run as U.S. champion has been a lot more enjoyable and a lot better than what Lyra has had. Now, don't get me wrong, because Becky already put Lyra over when Lyra beat her for the NXT title.
Exactly, right?
So, I mean, you don't need Becky to put that belt over. But a Bayley, even a Natalya, I can understand. They deserve that run. But again, Bayley doesn't need to put anybody over. She spent far too much of her.
Oh, yeah. I mean, who better to put the title on than a Natalya? The Hearts are synonymous with the Intercontinental title. Like, you can't mention great title runs without mentioning an Owen and all the family that has held that title.
Right.
So I would love to see them give it to her, just to have the Hart name on that title as well.
Right.
But again, that's just me.
I mean, for me, unfortunately, and I mean, I'm not a huge Natalya fan, but I look at her runs with the women's championships.
Yeah.
And the year she won it in Vancouver, I was just like, oh, so they're going to give Natalya her token title win.
Title total, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want it for Natalya. I think that's all it would be, is that token run and her as a transitional champion. So
Right.
I got to say no on Natalya.
I mean, it's just a personal thing for me, really.
Right.
For me, again, because I've absolutely adored Natalya her entire career, and it's for me. It's not even for her. It's for me, really.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. It's totally for me.
Right. Okay. So
Who we
up
got
next, our second championship match. In fact, our second Intercontinental Championship match
Woohoo!
of the night, as Braun Breaker defends against Penta.
That was my little happy dance. Lucha, lucha, lucha. I honestly think it's too soon for Penta to be winning the title. Is it a great idea? Hell yeah. It's a great idea. A little too soon though.
See, this is where I'm going to disagree with you, just because of Penta's track record all over the world.
Right?
So, in fact, Braun Breaker has had a decent run with it. Now, I do think that Braun is going to retain.
Okay.
By shenanigans.
Oh, you think there's going to be... Okay.
I do, because you've got the Judgment Day and Dom who wants to recruit Penta.
Right.
You've got Finn, who just had the shot last week and really was cost by shenanigans.
Yeah, by the boys.
So I think you're going to see this one just break down.
Well, don't forget, Ludwig Kaiser is probably not in the best of moods.
No.
Because he just lost to Penta. And he thinks he deserves the title shot more than this new guy who's just started and hasn't put his time in. And he said it,
Right.
So I'm not going to disagree. Shenanigans are going to happen. Depending on how they go down, it's going to depend on who wins.
Right. Next up, Jey Uso and a mystery partner versus A-Town Down Under.
Okay.
Who's Jey's mystery partner?
I have an idea who I was hoping it would be, just because of I follow this individual on Instagram. He's not with the company right now, but he heard that Mr. Uso needs a mystery partner, needs a partner, and he threw his name in the hat right away, forgetting that he doesn't have a contract anymore. And I'm talking Baron Corbin.
Right.
Has thrown his name in there. And he went, oh, shoot. Sorry, Trips, can't do that. I forgot. I don't work for it.
I saw that. I did see that.
So I, the optimist guy that I am, as you all know, I like to think outside the box. How much would you poop a cuck at your pants if Baron Corbin's music hit and he walked out as the old school lone wolf Baron Corbin?
Right? I would love to see it. I'm with you. No. And I mean, congratulations to Tom Pastock, Baron Corbin, who just won 2 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gold medals.
2 gold medals for that man. The day he left WWE, the next, I think it was like not even a week later, it was like 5 days later, he was in a tournament and he won the tournament to get to where he is, to get those 2 gold medals. Yeah. So congratulations, my man. Keep up your hard work. You're But I agree with Mr. Best here. Let's say his name and he will appear. Do you think we get Mr. Joe Henry showing up to help?
Much as I would love to see it for the pop.
Oh, dude, that'd be huge.
No.
Okay, so it's not going to be him. Who's in your noodle that you're like, this guy's going to show up?
There's 2.
2, okay.
There's 2.
Number 1.
It's going to be one of his 2 brothers. It's going to be Jimmy or Sammy Uso.
Oh, geez, you said two brothers, and I forgot about Sammy completely. I'm going, what the hell? You think he's going to team up with Solo? I'm like, what? I'm like, you're going to have to, no, okay, but Sammy or Jimmy, I could get behind that.
I mean, and how incredible would it be to see an Uso reunion? Because we haven't seen it since Survivor Series. And that was a multi-man. So now you're looking at their first legitimate tag match.
I love the fact that you're thinking kind of outside the box. I don't see Jimmy helping his brother for the simple fact that they're really trying to make it on their own separately. Like they're staying as far away from each other as they possibly can.
Right.
When it comes to in-ring performance. Now, I appreciate the fact that Joe Hendry is in Glasgow as we speak. Now, that being said, I don't know if it's going to be him. I don't. I think it's going to be somebody that we are not expecting.
Right.
Honestly. That's kind of why I threw the Baron Corbin thing out there for giggles.
Right.
Obviously. But what if it's somebody that we're not expecting at all? Like, we didn't even know these two guys even talked, let alone would work together kind of guy. So, that's mine.
I know it won't happen, but what about in a one-off return to the ring?
Oh, God.
We know he can't. Big E.
Oh my dude, that place would implode if Big E, any kind of music for Big E hit.
Right.
And you hear that voice of his. Don't be sour. You know, like, dude, I'm gonna turn my shit off and I'm just gonna go to bed. Literally, like if he showed up, you guys know how much I like Big E.
Yeah.
Every time he comes out, I turn into this little kid. I'm like, I want bootios. I want, like, good thought though, bro. Like I would, because we don't know if he can, because he's been medically cleared.
No, he hasn't.
Oh, see, I heard he was medically cleared.
No, I have actually heard.
Train.
I have heard just the opposite, and that is he will never be medically cleared.
Oh. Well, and I heard just recently that he was cleared to get into the ring to like run the ropes and take a couple of bumps and like slowly get back into it.
Maybe he was, but I don't think. But he may not want to because he doesn't want to take that chance.
I think it's a total personal thing right now. Like, I think he's not lost his confidence to speak, but he has. Because he doesn't want to hurt himself again.
I don't think it's a matter of the confidence. I think this would be a matter of quality of life.
True enough at this point. Okay, so this is a good point, Best, but they said the same for Edge and Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, however you want to. I agree, but at the same time, Best, I think it's 100% him and his wife. I think he's just not ready yet. Don't take it as I'm saying he's never going to get in the ring.
Right.
But right now, I think he's just happy where he is, doing the cool shit that he's doing for WWE and getting to interact with the fans a lot more.
Right.
So that being said, we don't have a clue who the partner is going to be. Really, we don't. So I'm looking forward to. Hopefully it's someone we don't even have a clue. What's next?
And lastly, Chad Gable versus Dragon Lee.
Now, do we get the shenanigans of the mystery masked man coming out and interfering in this match?
I don't think the mystery masked man is going to interfere.
Do you think he comes out though? I
think we're going to see the mystery masked man as the competitor. I think Chad Gable gets replaced.
You think Chad gets hurt backstage and the mystery masked man comes out in his place?
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to that because we got to jump over to the Raw Patrol now.
Yep.
So people on YouTube, Netflix, well, not Netflix, but like every station, please stay tuned. We will be back.
Yes, we
All
will.
you, my friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, thank you for joining us here at the Locker Room Breakdown. This has been our Raw perspective. From all of us here to those of you out there, wherever you are, good night, good luck. We out.
Defy.